What's up everybody, it's the Sports Code aka Aiden and welcome to another video. This video is going to be about the Manchester United versus Lask match preview, the first leg of the Europa League round of 16. Very important Europa League game to go and win away, get an away goal and put us in very good strides to hopefully qualify into the next round of the Europa League. Very important game, but also a game that kind of feels like there might not be a point to play due to a lot of rumors that we will get into throughout the video. So before we get started, please like and subscribe if you think Manchester United will win this game away against Lask and bring an away goal to Old Trafford where we can perform there as well. Now let's get into the video. So for anybody that doesn't know, yes, this is a very important Europa League game, but this game might not mean as much to many people as you might think, because there's been a lot of rumors and it's already happened in countries like Italy that the Europa League could potentially be cancelled for the season. Same with the Champions League, and the Premier League is also a topic of discussion that is currently being debated and discussed with government officials and everything like that. So at this point in time, this game is, until the Europa League is officially cancelled, we have to play strong. We have to be in a positive mindset that we can go out and win this game, because there is also a chance that nothing happens and the Europa League remains the way that it is. Whatever the case may be, we got to the health and safety of the individuals involved and also the fans' well-beings is the most important thing. So whatever happens, it must be for the benefit of the people around the football arenas, as well as the players themselves and the managers and everybody working around the areas involved. So if that involves potentially not playing a game or cancelling a league or closed doors games, then that's the way it's going to be. Now, this game, for anybody that doesn't know, is going to be a closed door game. It will be televised, so for everybody that has a TV, make sure to tune in on television to watch the game. However, there will be no fans at the arena. It will be an empty stadium match. For many people, this is going to be very weird, very strange. It's not usual for a lot of first teams to actually play an empty stadium arena. But for Manchester United, we got to just pretend like that doesn't bother us, and we got to keep pushing forward and hopefully get a result in this game and make it as entertaining as possible without the fans being there. There will be commentary as well. I recommend going to look at the Dortmund PSG highlights, because what those highlights are is basically what the match is going to feel like, bar of course, the Champions League vibes and everything like that. But this game is very important, and Ollie has stressed it enough that it is important to play all the matches that we have. It's a one-game mentality to focus on this game, and whatever happens outside of this game is whatever happens, and we have to accept the consequences of that. So hopefully everything goes well, and the benefit and safety of everybody is the main priority in making decisions like this. So yeah, this game is going to be pretty strange to watch, pretty interesting as well, to kind of see what it would feel like. A lot of people that don't watch youth games or don't watch the women's football, they don't see what it's like to have little to no fans, and that's no disrespect to them, of course, because it's all development at the end of the day. The women's football game is rising and will continue to rise. It's arguably just as entertaining as the men's football. And with the youth, of course, it's unless you know about the youth, a lot of people would not go to see the youth, as the main team is around more often. But whatever the case may be, for whatever reasons, those arenas have lesser fans than, of course, a Manchester United team in the first team. And it's going to be strange to see them play with no fans, but at the end of the day, they're professionals, they're paid like professionals, and they have to go out and do their job like a professional would. Scott McTominay said that as well in this press conference, and we just got to move on. And the starting 11 is going to be pretty interesting as well. So there are potential injuries or concerns that could arise from a lot of players. I believe there were 7 in total, but not all of them have been named. So I'll name the ones that I believe have potential injuries or have been isolated from the rest of the group. and doing their own training, and whatever happens out of that happens. So if there is a mistake and someone is injured when I don't know about it, I apologize. But we'll get into the video. Starting a goalkeeper, I've gone with Sergio Romero. There's not really much to say about this pick, to be honest. It's Sergio Romero. He's a really good goalkeeper. He's our cup goalkeeper, and he performs very well in cup competitions. So it's going to be good to see him playing again, getting some more game time. I think we all trust him enough to see us through a game like this. Going into the right back position, I believe Diogo Dalot is one of those players that have been separated from the group and has been training on his own. So I don't see him playing necessarily tomorrow. So I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka. As much as I don't feel like Wan-Bissaka should play because he probably needs a rest, in my opinion. Due to squad rotation, there's not really much players that can play right back, so he's got to play, and he's got to play well, and he will play well. It's Wan-Bissaka. Had his best game last game against Manchester City, and he's going to have to pull a good one out here as well, and trust me, he will do so. There's no concerns in my mind. Going into the next centre-back position, I've gone with Victor Lindelof. Now, Victor Lindelof is another player that played against Man City. He did really well. I see he coming in and taking advantage of a very strong opportunity to have another good game. I think he's going to be the leader centre-back here. Now, a lot of people could say Eric Bailly, and I would not be opposed to that. Because there is a returning player that we could see potentially in this game as well. So for now, I'm going to stick with Victor Lindelof, and then in the next centre-back position, I've gone with Eric Bailly. Now, swapping these around would also be ideal as well, considering Victor Lindelof can play both sides centre-backs. Either way, those are the two centre-backs that I believe are going to be pushing for the start tonight. And I believe that this centre-back pairing will be enough to hold off Lusk until at least at home, and then we can see what happens from there. Harry Maguire came back from an ankle injury that happened about a week ago, and he came back from Man City, but I think it's just give him another game's rest to make sure he's fully ready for Tottenham, because he did look a big shake here to start, and maybe he's not fully fit. Nevertheless, give him some rest, and we'll see what happens with that, and hopefully everything goes well. Left back, I've gone with Brandon Williams. I know he had a pretty bad game against Manchester City, but I feel like this is a team where it's pretty much risk-free to play him, because he is good enough to hold off Lusk as well and give Luke Shaw a little bit of a break, because he's been playing a lot recently, and Luke Shaw is suffering from cramps nearly every game. So I think a bit of rest might do him some good for the rest of the season, and we'll see how that goes. The returning player, by the way, is Axel Tuanzebe. We saw him on the bench against Manchester City. He was one of the names put on the bench. I would love Tuanzebe to start, to be honest, and I would very, very, very much be happy to see him start, but it's not the end-all, be-all, and he did just come back, so maybe it's just giving him time, and he's like an emergency sub if anything goes wrong. But for now, we'll leave Tuanzebe where he is, and hopefully he can get a start or get a bench appearance. Whatever happens. I'm very happy to see him back, by the way. Going into the midfield, this is a 4-2-3-1 formation, by the way. Going into the midfield, obviously I've gone with Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay was in the press conference, so it kind of makes me believe he's going to start. Very positive signs from Scott McTominay. He scored the goal against Manchester City. Blew the crowd on fire, literally, with that goal, and he deserves the start just for that. And another player that came back from injury, and he's had some good run of form. Been pretty solid, pretty good, and hopefully a game like this will only get him into better fitness, better performance, and more match ready than ever before, and we'll see what happens with that. Going into the other position, I'm gonna go. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Fred here. Fred, I don't know if he's one of those players that are injured or not, but I think with Fred, we're just gonna have to play him away. Maybe at home, I'm not really sure. Fred's one of those guys where I believe if we rest him, it'll be fine. If we don't rest him, it'll be fine as well. And we'll just see what happens. I think Fred obviously would want to play a game like this. It's just different. It's honestly just different to see Fred not in the team. So I'm not going to bet against him not being in the team, because we are extremely different without him. Going into the cam position, I'm going to go with Andreas Pereira. I don't think Bruno will play in this game. I feel like he's one of those players that are kind of getting tired. Adjusting to a new league could be very tiring, so maybe a rest would be suitable. A bench appearance might be what is needed for Bruno, if anything. Andreas has been a player that a lot of people would arguably say is a player that needs to leave, and I think he's just going to give him more time. He's, what, 22, 23 years old. Let the lad have some game time here and there, and maybe we'll see what the future holds for him in another period. But for now, we're going to have to trust him to do a job here. I'm going to trust him to do a job here, and hopefully he can get the job done, which is what we need. I'm expecting at least some sort of contribution out of him if he does play. Now, another person that was potentially injured was Jesse Lingard, or was being isolated from the rest of the group. And with Jesse Lingard, I don't think he was going to be starting this game either way. But if he did start, this is a reason for maybe him not starting. Those two were training by themselves for whatever reason. Maybe they're just doing their own training to kind of get them back to fitness, or whatever the cause may be. We'll see how that goes. So Andreas, I believe, to start. Going into the striking positions now, the left wing, I've gone with Daniel James. Very good game against Manchester City. A lot of fans did not want him to play against Manchester City, but he played, and not only did he play, he looked very dangerous. A couple of poor decisions, but other than that, he put Man City on their heels and made them chase him all night long. And eventually, Dan James got the better of them, and Manchester United got the better of Man City. I expect him to start here and hopefully have a very solid performance. Going into the right wing position, I've gone with Mason Greenwood, purely because I don't think that there's another right wing besides Mata that can play there, and Mason Greenwood hasn't played in a while, so let's play Mason Greenwood. You could play Mata in the cam position now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm going to stick with Andreas. And Greenwood, I believe, can have a very good game here. All it takes is one shot for Greenwood, and he can knock out Lusk in this game. So we'll see where that goes. Striker position, I've gone with Ighalo. Martial is going to be out for this game. He's been struggling. If anybody didn't see his Instagram post, his shins are done, like the cut to the bone, really. So that skin. So of course he's going to take time to recover. He's struggling a bit. It must have really hurt, and this is what people think about Martial. He doesn't have any heart, any effort. He's always going to be out whenever he has the chance. He slid through that post at a very fast pace. He cut his knees and he kept playing. Don't tell me that Anthony Martial doesn't have the grit and grind to play in a Manchester United team, because that's complete and utter bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. All this Martial talk, he's not a number 9. I don't have to talk. I can let him I don't have to say anything about it. I can let him do the talking, because there's always going to be that one game where you're going to say, look, I'm right. But there's going to be about 4 or 5 where he proves you wrong. So that's the case with Martial. That's the scenario. And he can do the talking for himself. I don't need to go and defend him, because he's a player that will defend himself. And that's the team I've gone with. Hopefully this team will be strong enough to beat Lusk away. I think this game is going to be very strange, and we might not perform our best due to no fans being there whatsoever. But this also could affect Lusk as well, because their home court advantage is basically taken away from them, because there's going to be no fans cheering, there's going to be no fans rooting them on, and that encouragement factor, that 12th man for Lusk has gone. So this is potentially an advantage to steal something from them, even though we're arguably the favourites in both games. We could definitely end this game. We can end this series in the first game if we put our minds to it, and we have the mentality and keeping our heads on and adapting to all the strange things that we're going to see tomorrow night or tomorrow morning for me. So let me know what you guys think about that. I'm going for a 3-0 victory here. I think Manchester United can get the job done very, very well in this game. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Lusk will score? Do you think Man United will end up losing this game? Let me know what you guys think. I think 3-0 is a fair result, to be fair. We've had such a positive mindset, mentality. Besides the Everton game, I can't say we've done anything wrong with our performances. And maybe with the Man City one, arguably because of the defensive mindset we were in, but that was obviously a better team, and we had to adjust differently for that. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you're new, thanks for watching until the end of the video. Like I said, this is the Sports Code. Hope everything's well with everybody with this virus going around. Take care, stay safe, and peace.